Near. You have another series that's been very much on the social media radar.
Oh
Would you
yeah.
like to tell us what it is?
Speaking of TQ, um, I watched Kimi to Koete Koi ni Naru, also
Yes.
known as "With You, Our Love Will Make It Through." It's
Yes. I believe the abbreviation is KimiKoe.
yeah,
KimiKoe.
very generic name for a romance series.
Yes.
But what can you do? This is the Studio Milpensi series this season.
Militancy. They
Yes.
are they are redeeming themselves from their berserk. Although they have improved a lot. They have improved a lot, but unironically they
Yeah.
have improved a
Yeah.
lot. But they
So
are redeeming themselves fully from their
yeah,
berserk
for
days with
those of
this
you
series.
who don't know, Milpensi are in charge of Berserk 2016, as well as all 9 seasons of TQ.
Yeah,
Um,
and they did
Hell yeah.
Kotobukiya. I think Kotobukiya,
yeah,
which was also I reviewed that one, and that was also just about as bad as Berserk 2016 in terms of animation. But
Wow,
yeah.
there's so many related things this episode.
Kind of,
Teeth and
yeah,
teeth and TQ, hell yeah.
yeah.
Co-
Um,
Ganglion and Common Rider, hell yeah.
and in
yeah.
true Milpensi fashion, this is directed, produced, sound directed, script written, series composition, and animation directed by the one and only Shin Itagaki.
So
Because
you're saying that they put him on the hamster wheel. They put him through the Jin Maeda treatment where they're like, why don't you do everything? If you go to the hospital, you're gonna be working on
yeah,
on that ringer.
I mean, in true, it is true Milipensi tradition. He was
Uh-huh.
director, scriptwriter, storyboarder, episode director, character designer, in between animator, key animator, and sound director on all 9 seasons of TQ. So he is kind of
So
like the
A
one.
legend.
He's kind of like
he
the
is a
one man working at Studio Milipensi.
yes, 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 yes.
But yeah, this is a romance series, shoujo
Shoujo,
romance.
yeah, more for shoujo magazine readers. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Um, about a girl who falls in love with a furry beast man guy. Um,
Yes.
and that's really it. That's basically the whole story. It's a high school romance. Um,
By the way, for those of
and
you who are curious, this is not made by the Beastar author. In fact, this is
yeah,
just like a different person. This is actually the first time this author has made a published a manga series, but she is a female artist by the name
yeah,
of
couldn't
Yuzuki
tell.
Chihiro. Yes.
Um, yeah, this is a manga original. I think I'm pretty sure it's still ongoing. Um,
Yes.
and yeah, the basic premise is um, the main character, Asaka Mari, is pretty normal high school girl, and then the male lead, um, Tsunagu Hidaka, is a beast man, a man beast. Um, beast men
Yes.
in this world are like it's very strange. So beastmen in this world are like I don't know, like second class citizens almost. Um, they
I mean,
live
this is a
in
relatively
like
standard structure, right? Though,
yeah, so but
or
they
no?
live in like this walled city inside of
Poland?
Japan.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
more like a
Um,
reservation, really.
kind of, yeah.
Oh, okay, okay.
But yeah, there's like a big like concrete wall around the whole thing, and um they aren't typically seen outside of the wall, right? Um,
Mhm.
and I think they said there's only like 3,000 of them. Um,
Yeah.
and so they're pretty rare.
Mhm.
And um, Tsunagu has decided to sort of go to school outside of the wall. I think he said he wants to be like a doctor or something, so that way he can go, back to his sort of city and actually, be a force of good. Because I guess um, I guess like higher level schooling and stuff isn't as easy to get inside of the wall. or whatever. Yeah, he goes outside of the wall to go to school. And basically immediately met with prejudice, bullying. He gets sideways looks. He gets people whispering about him behind his back.
Right.
And I guess the sort of um, general consensus when people see a beast man outside of the wall is that they're like dangerous, right? Um, and they
By the way,
haven't
all this is
really,
very in media res. It's like
yeah,
we kind of have to piece things together about the
yeah.
world.
I mean, a little bit of it is kind of dumped on you in exposition, but yeah, it's kind of all kind of just sort of expected to, it's kind of just like normalcy in this world.
Yeah, it's just like,
Yeah,
hey, there's a dog, and it's like, oh, okay.
yeah. Um, and they don't really like substantiate whether the idea of like beastmen being like violent like inherently is like actually a valid concern or not.
hmm
Um, because Sunagu himself is like really kind of just like a normal guy. Um, like he's pretty chill actually. Um, however, later on they do kind of emphasize the fact that Sunagu himself is a child between um, a sort of beastkin and human relationship as well. So he has a bit
hmm
different, I guess. Um, I forget what they call it, but there's some like period. It's basically like mating season, right? Where there's a period during the year where their like urges kind of go out of control. Um,
hmm In
and
heat, they go
yeah,
in heat.
basically. But he himself is like not affected by this. And they're pretty sure it's because he's like like from a hybrid sort of coupling. Um,
Hmm.
however, he is still a
Do they
beastkin, and
explain it like,
so
is it like ligers? Is it like how it's like ligers or whatever? They
I don't
can't
know. I
like.
don't freaking know, man. They are kind of just like, that's like um. I guess it's like a first kind of thing. Like it's extremely rare kind of thing.
Mhm.
Um, so he's like special, I guess. I don't know, but yeah. Um, but yeah, that's kind of like the
The reason
initial
why I
like
mentioned that is because ligers can't breed,
yeah.
apparently. So.
Um, but yeah, that's like the initial setup in terms of like the lore and why um kind of a lot of characters behave the way they do around Sunagu himself. But yeah, outside of that, it's a pretty standard shojo romance series. Um,
Mhm.
and like I've covered shojo series in the past, but
Yes.
this one's like really this is probably the most like geared towards women series I've like ever covered on the podcast. Um,
Can I also ask you if you obviously this is like a prediction you have to make,
Near,
but
if you were a woman,
if you were a woman, would you have sex? No, but my question is okay. So let's say you met with the author, right? You ran across this artist, the manga author or whatever, right? Um, and you asked her, hey, like, why did you make it like this? Like, are you trying to get like some sort of shoujo
fucking
series, but
horny,
with
bro.
like
She's
a
horny.
twist with it? Do you like fur? Are you a fur? What's going on here?
Yeah, I
What
think
do you
she's
think her
horny.
answer would be?
I think she's
What do
horny.
you, what do you, she's just horny, but she wants a twist on it, or is she a furry? Does she likes Twilight? What do you think is going on in her mind with what you've seen
Um,
currently in the anime?
I don't know, cause I don't know if it's like, cause this doesn't really feel like it's necessarily like,
The
um,
Twilight situation?
I mean, it kind of is, right? But it's like, in terms of like the furry aspect, I don't know if it's like necessarily like, cause there are like, cause I said this before the podcast, but this is very much a kind of, um, like female audience aimed at like, this is very fan fiction, basically. Like this is very fan
Mhm.
fiction coded. Um,
Yeah.
and it's not really like necessarily like a furry story so much as it is almost like um like werewolf
Being together?
literotica. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Yeah. So
like smut,
yeah,
like almost smut, almost smut.
yeah. It's like really kind of it like comes right up to the line of like smut.
It's going. It's
Um,
like almost in the comic festa area.
yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I guess to expand on that, so the main like crux of this, and I guess this is kind of what makes this a little bit different from your standard shojo romance, is that um, the sort of twist is that the romance of this moves at a very fast pace. Um, like
Okay.
the actual like pairing happens really fast. Um,
Mhm.
they're like on top of each other in episode 1. They kiss in like episode 3, I think. They, confess to each other in episode 4, and so like it moves very
Do they
quickly.
actually
But
do it? I'm just wondering. Is
so
it implied that they do it?
they haven't like done it yet, but it gets pretty raunchy.
Okay. Okay.
So
Okay. I see.
but like the kind of I guess uh conflict, quote unquote conflict, right? Because this is very shoujo, so there's a lot of conflicts happening, but
This
there's
is
sort of
so made for women. Like everything I've heard so far is like this is everything
yeah,
that like as far as I know, like women just love women readers
oh
just
yeah,
love this
yeah.
stuff.
But yeah, the main I guess sort of like conflict and sort of I guess um friction that is like preventing them from just like full blown being like, yeah, we're in a relationship and we love each other. Um,
Mhm.
is the social stigma, right? There's sort of a Romeo and Juliet kind of thing going on here, where it's like, he's beastkin, she's human, and it's like just like
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
frowned upon.
Okay.
But the other aspect is whenever uh, Mari is like her emotions are kind of like flaring up. Um, and I'm just gonna use the words that the series used. She emanates this scent, uh, and
She gets no, what is it? It's like the pheromones or whatever.
yeah, yeah.
It's like
Um,
yeah.
but yeah,
She's going extreme, yeah.
she gives us this smell, and when Sunagu picks it up, he sort of loses control of himself, and he ends up, doing stuff like, he like soft bites, he licks her,
My
and
god, that's
he gets
so much.
really,
Oh my god.
he gets on top of her, he grabs
Oh my
her,
god.
and it gets pretty
This is
raunchy.
like
It gets
literally every single like
Hell yeah.
thing. Like if you were like if you went to a list of 5 million women in book clubs, right? And you were like or reading in like teen adult novels or whatever, right? Those people. And then you were like, hey, list like give me a list of things that you like that like turn you on while reading a book or something that or like that you read a book for or you read these like adult novels for or teen adult whatever novels, right? You know what I'm talking about, right? Young teen novels, blah blah. What you listed will be that list. You're
yeah.
just listing that list of like things that women readers wanted to see.
So
Essentially.
I'm
So
just gonna
are
pose.
we back to the Omega verse? Is that what you're talking about?
No.
Not
God
quite.
damn it.
Not quite.
It's
That's a
like
bit
that
more.
goes to a different place, yeah. Oh
Yeah, it's a bit more yaoi coded. But yeah, I'm just gonna pose this,
my god.
and it's like this is episode 2. Keep in mind, this is the second episode.
I'm
Um,
actually like lying down in my bed right now because it's like, oh my god, it's
Hell yeah.
oh my god. Oh my god.
yeah, and
This is
and
So near who'd win in a fight, Legosi or
oh
this
my
guy?
god.
probably Lugoshi because he gets like fucking superpowers by the end. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They get supernatural powers, yeah.
yeah, and
Jesus Christ.
this is in the same scene. So you can see kind of how um how it goes. And that's kind of the sort of, I guess, conflict, quote
Nice.
unquote, is that they can't really get too close to each other. Otherwise, he kind of loses control. But for essentially they have they have confessed to each other, they have shared feelings for each other, and
Mhm.
like from here on out, it's kind of like how to navigate this sort of relationship without hurting each other, without creating a sort of scene at school, um, stuff like that. There's also, again, this is very shoujo coded, so there's multiple love triangles going on. Um, there's a secondary male love interest. In episode
The
6,
thing is, it's like it's not like that shoujo part is like whatever because we've
yeah,
seen that a
it's not like
billion times before.
super relevant. If
But
you
my
if you
my thing is like the dog part. Is this just like a thing from the author where it's just like, yeah, I can't have it just like be 100% regular shoujo because then that's like nobody's gonna read it. So I just do I just add this dog in here? I think we could add this dog in. Or is it, oh, oh, I like Edward. I'm on Team Edward, Team Jacob, or whichever one is the fucking Mirror Wolf for Twilight. It's like I like that
That's
yeah,
so
yeah,
much.
I
obviously
think
Jacob, bro. Edward's the
yeah,
fucking vampire.
Edward's
the
fucking
yeah.
sparkles. Okay, get it right.
Oh, I
Um,
apologize. But yeah, it's like I you know how it's like there's that contingent who likes like the vampire noble,
yeah,
cool, whatever thing, right? Is it that? Or is it option three? Because I just looked at the histories of these series and I got very upset. Beastars, I believe, Beastars, the anime, the anime, obviously the manga was even further back, but even the anime for Beastars was released in 2019. This manga, KimiKoe, was initially published in 2021. So
yeah.
is it that? Like, is the option like where is this?
Um, I
Where
mean,
does the
I
dog
think
come in?
there might be some like riding off the coattails. I mean, I'm sure this mangaka probably shopped this story around like before Beastars really kicked off, and it
That
maybe
is
kind of got
true.
greenlit
Yeah.
like as Beastars kicked off, and you know, publishers were like, okay, this obviously has a market, right? So we can publish
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think the Beastkin stuff is, like I said, it's very sort of um like it is kind of like the werewolf fantasy, right? Where like the guy is like he's like 7 feet tall and he's really strong and
Okay, so it's more
he's
the
like super
Twilight, like vampire noble werewolf
yeah,
kind of
yeah, I
business.
think so.
Okay.
Cause like
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
like in this, like he is like he like straight up like he's 7 feet tall. He's super good at sports. He's super smart. Um,
Mhm.
he's like he's a gentleman. He's super noble. He's nice. Like he is literally like the perfect guy. And
Yeah.
his
The
only
the
like
shoujo
his
sex
only like
god. Yeah.
flaw really is that he loses control around the girl, which is like
But that's what
when
female
like when
readers
you're
want. That's
yeah
literally what female
when you're
readers want.
reading that like as a woman, it's like is it like is the idea of a man losing control around you, is that like when you're
Losing control and
when
like
you're
kind of like
in
like pinning you down, doing that sort of
yeah,
yeah. Yeah.
obviously
Okay,
that
that's a very standard.
that's part of the fantasy, right? Not to
Yeah,
say
yeah, yeah,
not
yeah,
not
yeah.
saying that it's a good idea to lose control around a
Yeah, don't do
woman
that in
in
real life.
real
Don't
life.
don't pin down women without their consent in real life. But
Don't
the
do that.
whole point, yeah, yeah. But it's like I just because I wanted to know where this comes from because like you get where I'm talking about, right? Because it's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
it's a
for sure,
very
for
like
sure.
the artist just kind of chucking this in almost lazily because although it's not that lazy in terms of construction from what I've just heard, but it's like chucking in it because it's like I need kind of something else, right? It's like we
Yeah,
can't just have this be shoujo. It's very different from oh I like vampire noble dragon blood
yeah, it's definitely part of
dog that licks
the
me in the
fantasy
on
for
the
sure.
face. Yeah, and then that's also a very different, not too different, but quite a different slot from I'm a furry. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure
So,
there's a bit of intersectionality there, but
uh-huh.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
do
yeah,
think
yeah.
most of it is just kind of the part of the fantasy. But
Okay, 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 okay.
yeah, yeah, that's mostly it for the story. I mean, it is very standard. Like if you've read a shoujo before, this is
Yep,
about as shoujo as it gets. There's love
yep.
triangles, there's rivalries.
Anything, if you ask a female reader what they want to see in like a teenage, like young adult novel, smut series, and plus shoujo, like adding in shoujo so that it's not just smut, right?
Yeah.
but it's like that sort of structure. From what you've described, I think this literally just has it. The
Well,
author was just
yeah,
like,
has it all
"Hey, I'm
basically.
just gonna put in all my fetishes, but try to like kind of clean it up so it's not just smut."
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, as for the audio visuals, again, this is Studio Milipensi, and I
Mhm.
think this is probably the
The
best
best one?
looking thing they've ever put out. um,
Yes, they've
it's
improved
not
a shit
really
ton.
like, yeah, it's not really like an absolute like showstopper. You can definitely see where, um, you know, a lot of the corners are being cut. There's not a lot of movement happening in really any given scene. Um,
Mhm.
but I think the main uh, plus side this has is the color palette is really really nice. It has a lot of really bright colors. It helps that you know the main dude is like he's like this big blue like wolf guy.
Mhm.
And so he really pops in a lot of the scenes he's in. Um, but he's not like super bright or anything. It's like a sky blue kind of teal color he has going
Mhm.
on. And then the main character, Mari, she has like this sort of warm orangey brown hair, and it kind of, you know, it's like a nice contrast when they're in the scenes together. Obviously the eyes and stuff are drawn very nicely. The backgrounds are pretty clean, pretty nice. But yeah, mostly the color
Mhm.
palette is the main beneficiary in terms of audio visuals here. A lot of the movement, a lot of the sort of character acting. Again, there's not a lot of motion happening here, um, but like all the lines are really clean. There's nothing that looks like ugly in this series, basically. They also
Mhm.
do a lot of sort of when there's you know some more lighthearted stuff going on. There's a lot of chibi stuff, and Sunagu sort of goes from like the wolf guy to like they turn him into this big fluff ball basically with ears, which is kind of cute. Um, yeah, the audio visuals are pretty solid. The music is, I mean, it's about as standard you can get. Um, the OP is Kusugutai by Chico with Honeyworks.
Yeah,
Um,
this also was part of really I mean, obviously, this was popular in itself because all the women, but also the Honeyworks thing also gave it a lot of eyeballs too,
yeah,
for
of
sure.
course.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a Honeyworks song. If you've heard a Honeyworks song, you probably know
you've
what
heard
this
them
sounds
all.
like. Yeah,
Yeah, especially and this kind of also reminds me of how Hiro in Tarumono was hyped up. I reviewed that one. It was not that great of a series, although I again I also saw how women could fall in love with that one. But this is also very similar in that sort of
yeah.
sense.
Um,
Yeah.
the visuals for the OP itself are they're about equally as generic. I think there's a cute little like aspect of an idea that they had where um, at the start and at the end of the OP, um, you know, the two leads are kind of standing on opposite ends of like this colored line, and then they step across it and they sort of become more, I guess, full colored in their um, artwork. It's kind of a cute idea, but
Segregation is over.
yeah, basically racism's end. But but as for the rest of the visuals, it's basically just you know, still shots of the characters kind of standing among either abstract backgrounds or they're in some sort of you know, field of
Yeah,
flowers.
the very, very, very standard. Yes.
Pretty standard stuff.
Mhm.
The ED is um, that Kimi ni Nare Tara by
Mhm.
Yo Kamiyama. It's just as generic. Um, the
Mhm.
track is it's pretty standard. So what you know, it's a pretty
Yeah,
standard
I'm not
ED track.
surprised.
The visuals
Mhm.
themselves are really simple. It's kind of just the characters standing in the wind. Um, yeah, nothing really to write home about with OP or ED. Um, the overall audiovisuals are solid and definitely a nice surprise from Milipensi as well.
Yeah.
They're definitely improving. Although you know, improving, going up from zero is you know you can really only get exponential gains. All right, so
Yeah, yeah, yeah. If you
um,
started from the rock bottom, like the valley of death, then you can
yeah,
only really kind of go up from
you
there.
really yeah you can only go up. But yeah, definitely, I would say the best showing that Millipensi's ever had.
Mhm.
Which is not saying a lot, but it is nice to see.
Yeah.
The voice cast, I think, is worth going over. Tsunagu himself is voiced by Takuya Eguchi, who, if
Yes,
you don't
yes,
know,
yes. Very
is
prolific. Yes.
very, very, very popular with the ladies. He voices
Yes.
Lloyd Forger from Spy Family.
Mm-hmm.
He also voices Vane, Grand Blue Fantasy. And if you haven't seen it, Takuya Eguchi has made a woman cry just by saying her name. So very popular with the ladies.
Yes, 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 yes.
He does a really, really deep voice in this role. I think probably one of the best voices I've ever heard him do.
Yeah,
Um,
it's a very like it's not forced, but it's like you can tell he's like really trying to like force those like
yeah,
vocal flaps
yeah, for
down,
sure. It's
and it's like
very,
one of his like cool quote unquote Ikemon
yeah,
voice
it's
kind of
very,
level.
very gravelly. But I think he does a
Hmm.
good job with it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mari herself is voiced by Iwami Manaka.
Also very famous.
Yeah, she voices it was Rice Shower, right? In Umusume,
Yes, 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 yes.
um, amongst other things.
Hmm.
But yeah. The other furry girl who has only shown up in like one scene so far. She first appears in episode 6, at like the very tail end of episode 6, and I'm sure she's going to be another aspect of some sort of love
Oh yeah, she
triangle.
first appears in the tail end of episode 6. Yeah, nice one, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's my racism showing. Sorry. But yeah, she's voiced by Kakuma Ai. She's again, very, very popular voice actress.
Hmm.
And then for the rest of the main cast, uh, Yukihiro Aida, who's like the, I guess, secondary male romance interest, is voiced by Kotaro Nishiyama, who's
Yeah,
not,
Nishiyama Kotoro does have a he is quite well known yeah, especially amongst the sort of Japanese seiyuu kind of network, and he does a lot of these sorts of like male idol, again like the BLCDs, because he has like a higher tone, like he has a very like high and lighter tone.
yeah,
Obviously he can make it a little bit stronger, but he does a lot of those like for fujoshis or for women kind of roles.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's been in stuff like Free, Haikyuu, Idolish
Yep,
7,
yep,
stuff like that.
yep,
Um,
yep, yep.
and then yeah, in some of the less uh more supporting roles, you have Asami Seto, Yuri Shimabukuro, and Kaito Ishikawa.
Yeah,
Yeah,
a
overall,
lot of big names in there.
yeah,
Yeah.
overall the voice cast is very good. They do a really good job, I think. And yeah, overall, I think this is it's a pretty solid package. I think there's really
Can I? So would you
Near
recommend it? Would you
near
recommend it? Is my question.
near. Speaking of packages, you know how they work, right?
I mean, they haven't gone over that, but I'm sure I can imagine. Yeah, would I recommend this? I mean, I think if you, it's kind of tricky, right? Because
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
this is,
Because it's very obviously like made for a certain group, so it's like just general recommendation is hard, right? I think.
yeah, I think it's a pretty standard, because like I I've watched a lot of shojo, right, myself. So
Uh-huh.
to me, like, there's not really a lot here that kind of took me like off guard or necessarily, except for I guess like how quickly the romance itself kind of uh goes along, like how quickly it progresses. And I guess how kind of close to the line it goes in terms of like etchy slash smut this is.
Mm.
But I think outside of that, this is probably not too hard to recommend to somebody who's kind of just like really likes romance series.
Hmm.
Again,
And
obviously,
more than
there's
just the romance series, but it's like all the trappings, whether it's smut or just pure romance or somewhere in between, right? That female readers really freaking like.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
All of them, not just some
Yeah,
of them, all of
definitely.
them.
If you know, if it's like a girl asking me, it's like, hey, do you know any good romance series? I mean, I just like this is probably it's probably up their alley.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
um,
If
as
you're
for
not
like,
recommending skit dance to them, you're recommending this to them,
yeah,
essentially.
um, as for like, yeah, again, I because personally there wasn't really anything that made me like uncomfortable, but I can see
Mhm.
like if there is somebody out there that like really hates furries or something, I mean I guess I wouldn't recommend this, but like, you know, if you don't like furries, I think you just need to look at the cover and be like, I'm not gonna watch this, right? Um,
Yeah, I think it's a little bit unfortunate that this kind of, because like this obviously stands in the shadow of Beastars, regardless of it having like a different structure, right? A different kind of like endpoint or like direction,
focus,
right?
yeah,
But even if it doesn't have that sort of different focus, structure, different direction, it doesn't matter because to everybody's eyes from the outside, this is in the shadow of Beastars. This is in the shadow of stuff like Brand New Animals, stuff like that, right?
for sure, for sure.
So I think the way this got promoted and became viral, became popular, and was also spread on social media is a double-edged sword because having the dog, the furry stuff like the furry kind of stuff makes it more likely for some sect of the population to be like, oh, like that's weird. What is it actually about? Whatever, right? Um, but then with this same sort of marketing tool, right? Oh, there's blue dog on the cover. There's also a certain section of the population, um, where it's just like, "Mm, like, so where are you going with this
Yeah,
kind of business?
yeah,
You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
yeah.
Um, and I think I guess the other sort of asterisk slash caveat that I would say when recommending this is like there is like it does kind of present the whole like, you know, racism slash prejudice slash like, you know, um sort of bullying aspect to it, but
Mhm.
it's not really making like a deep like social
It's not very
commentary
sophisticated.
on
Yeah.
it. Yeah, outside
Mhm.
of like you shouldn't bully people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah,
kind
yeah.
of like
You
that's
should
kind of
be
it.
nice.
Yeah, you shouldn't look at people that are different from you and just like immediately assume that they're like a bad
Mhm.
person thing. Um, but
Don't
like
worry, Nier. I've read some Inuyasha Dojins back in the day. I know what I'm getting into.
yeah, yeah, sure. Um, but yeah, outside of that, I mean, it's pretty inoffensive. I think it's a relatively easy recommend. It just depends on what the person is asking for, what they're looking for. Um,
Mhm.
if you like romance, I don't really see much reason not to check this out. Again, there might be some aspects that make you a little bit uncomfortable or turn you off
Mhm.
or you know
Or
whatever.
or other. I think the bigger thing is also it's just like a lot of it can sometimes be very on the nose. But I guess if you're like a romance shoujo series, you're also used to that as well, huh?
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
um, yeah. Outside that, I don't know if I have too much else to say. So
Yeah. What
it is
rating? What
very
rating?
concise package,
Nier,
right?
Nier, Nier, would you?
What I what?
Would you?
Sex up the dog, obviously.
So I'm not into like big, gigantic, 7 foot tall dog men. So that one no. Cat girl. I mean, she's had like one line, so I don't know if she's like a bitch or not. But like, probably.
Yeah,
I won't lie.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. As for rating, it's currently sitting at 6.8 on Mall. Um,
that's not
I
bad.
think,
Yeah.
yeah, it's not bad. I think it's. I'm not gonna lie, it's probably a bit lower than it normally would be because a lot of Mall users are men, right? And
Or also the furry thing. Yeah.
yeah, there's that too.
Yeah.
Um, But yeah, I think this is a solid 7. Again,
Very good.
it's kind of just like a clear, concise package. Like it knows what it wants to do. It's not really
Yeah.
it's not really like trying to step out of its own sort of um lane, I guess, right? Like it's not like
Mhm.
it's not very ambitious. But what it does, I think it does very well. If it not a little um latent, I guess.
Right.
But yeah, I think it's solid.
Reminder that this is a sequel series to another one.
Yeah, I think it's like a sequel to a one shot or something.
But yeah, thank you very much, Nier. I know this was quite an interesting series to cover. That's I think the word I'll choose.
Yeah.
But uh it did end up being a lot more innocuous than we expected, right? Again, we don't yet 100% know the intentions or like the sort of the hobbies, the sort of likes dislikes of the author, but we can imply or we can kind of deduce some sort of stuff from how the anime story and the general story kind of flows. But
Then
I
I
mean,
think
we've
she's just
all
horny,
seen
bro.
Twilight, right?
Yeah, I think she's just horny. So
but yeah, again, I want to thank you, Nier, for kind of handling this very kind of bulky series to review. I think there's a lot to unpack here, to be honest. So, um, but yeah, if you guys want to see a surprisingly very thorough, and by thorough I mean like very much geared towards women, kind of romance series with all the trappings of both kind of more pure romance comedy, romance kind of stuff, romance series, shoujo romance series, on top of sort of some of the smut kind of stuff that female readers might be into. Uh, check out Kimi to Koete Koi ni Naru, also known as KimiKoe. Again, this was done by Shuri Pensy. Don't be afraid of the name now. They've come a long way. Obviously, they have still some kinks here and there in this series, but for the most part, it should be pretty darn watchable.